Okay, let's go to LinkedIn and show you some stuff. All right, so let's start with a message. I'm going to give you time to read the message. Here we go. Okay. Can you all see that? I just want you all to read it, and then I'm going to get some feedback. Maybe I can make it bigger. Does that help? Just point your fingers at me when I got to take it down.
Chantal, did you respond to that first message, or did she just go cold again?
No, I didn't respond to that first message.
Can I see the first message again, please?
Yeah, sure. I only check LinkedIn probably once or twice a week.
But that was April, the first one, and then it's July.
Yeah, it gets better, guys. It gets real good. So have you seen this one now?
Yep.
Okay. I think it switches to third person here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she's the expert and someone else is introducing her.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
I'm personally not engaged with this email from the first one.
It gets so much better though.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh, sorry, I'm not on mute, am I?
So she's like, I think there was 3 there. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So I've come back with this. Okay. And you would see this because this is like a story. Got to make sure, has everyone seen that?
Yeah.
You all seen it? Okay.
Wow. Jeez.
Wow.
I was just wondering what I did wrong. I thought that that's the game we were playing, you know.
Yeah.
Just
That's so funny.
That's amazing.
and this is why I'm not a fan of LinkedIn. That's why I don't show up too much on LinkedIn.
I get that sort of flow all the time.
But, you know, I just went in and I thought, oh, I'll just go, you know, imagine if I'm dating, just say hi, tell them a bit about myself. You know, that's what they're doing, right? That's what they're doing. This is what I do. That's what they do. And then I got, what an ego.
Wow.
Oh, so she hasn't blocked me though, because I can go into her profile. So she hasn't blocked me.
Wow, and she's Australian. I thought maybe she might be American with that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, that was.
Cool. So I just thought you'd find that one amusing. Cool. So I'm going to show you something really cool. So when you click your little face in LinkedIn, and then you go down to settings and privacy, and it is important that with every update you do go in and check your settings, because to tell you the truth, I didn't know that this had happened. I just saw it on someone else's profile. if you scroll down to visibility on the left-hand side and then scroll down to the bottom, there's this followers button here. And I do encourage you to go in and actually explore the rest of your buttons. But where it says change, you can click this little button down here at the bottom where it says yes. So maybe take a screenshot of that so you find it. But turn that on, because when somebody goes and stalks you, they'll automatically follow you, which means your content's more likely to come up in front of their, so if they stalk you, they're immediately following you. And that is pretty cool. So I wanted to teach you that today, and just make sure that you do have that on your LinkedIn profile.
I've just done it.
Awesome. Done. And this is what happens every time there's an update in something, they change it, and sometimes settings go on or off and you don't know. So it is important for us to go in and review our settings. So if you haven't done it already, go in there and explore all your settings. The next one I want to show you what to do is for your event. So you can click the event tab here. It's a bit of a yucky banner. It's very squishy and long, as you can see. So it was really hard to try and get everything out long ways. It just annoys the crap out of me that we've got to make so many different things. You've got opportunity here to use your event name, the dates, the start date, the time. Basically, you can just copy this all from Facebook as well. You can as well, if you've got co-hosts or guest speakers, you can include them in here. You can mark that it's public. You can include the registration link down here as well, and then create it. Once you've done that, to find those events, if you have a look at what I call LinkedIn World, so if you click the IN at the top, that's LinkedIn World, that's your timeline. Down the left-hand side over here, we can scroll down, and here you can see events. So there you can see I've set up a webinar on how to make crazy sales. So this is what I'm talking about, making it long and skinny. I've had to take my Facebook one and I've had to resize it and squish it all out. It's a bit of a pain, but yeah. Then over here, that's how I've set that one up. Now, once you've set it up, on the right-hand side at the top here, it says manage events. So that over there is where you can edit your event or cancel it. Over here, though, you can invite connections. So I also just need to tell you, I don't have, I'm not paying for LinkedIn. I do free LinkedIn, so I don't pay for it. But you can come in over here and you can invite connections. So say it's in the Gold Coast area, you can click Gold Coast, you can go apply, and any of your contacts that are in the Gold Coast area will come up. And then at the top left-hand button over here, you can invite them then to your event. What happens is, if they start to talk to you, it actually happens in your messaging inbox. So if I scroll down over here, this says event chat. It creates this little event chat. This chat was created to discuss, and then you've got this little discussion here. So what I want to show you, what I really like about this is it seems to have a more detailed, I mean, you can search companies. So if you're looking for specific companies and you want to invite those people, if they're on your contact list, you'll be able to invite them. But you've also got industries as well. It's a little bit funny because I was trying to find tradies and there was only international trade and developments. I haven't quite figured this out yet. So if anyone else knows more than what I know, that would be awesome. But for my next 8-week Facebook Mastery Program, I've got one specifically for tradies and one specifically for VAs. So I'm looking to come in here then and choose these categories. So I could go, okay, well, professional trading and coaching, health and wellness, real estate, marketing and advertising. Don't know where those are coming from. I'm wondering if those are coming from my own tags in LinkedIn. Actually, if Beck Spink was on here, she'd probably be able to tell us because she's done a lot more. But then you can invite people to your event. And as I said, once they start talking to you, it will come up in a messenger thread as well. You can post inside it as well. So you can invite people, you can share it. You can have a look at your details here. You can look at the attendees and stalk them a bit further. And of course, there's your insights. So I just thought that I would show you how to do the event in LinkedIn. So one of the other things I do want to mention is that once I create an event in Facebook, because I focus on Facebook because that's my big one, from Facebook for branding consistency, I then will put it on LinkedIn, and I will also put it on Google My Business, because on Google My Business, posts disappear after 7 days. However, the event will stay up there until its past date. So
before you leave LinkedIn, I'm really glad you're talking about this today, because for the first time ever, I put an event on LinkedIn last week.
Yep.
And I had all these people say they wanted to come, but to actually register for the real event, they had to then click on the link to go to my Humanitics ticketing, you know, like
Yep.
Eventbrite, but
Yep.
Humanitics.
Yep.
And they didn't do that second step, even though I had the link in there. They just said yes to the LinkedIn invitation.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. They do that on Facebook as well.
Drives
So
me-
yeah, they click yes to going. I often handle that objection in the content.
Yeah.
Please don't just click yes. Please don't just click going to this event. You have to register here. And remember when I spoke to you, I said it's important that in the details, oh, and I hope my example's right, because sometimes here we go, register in advance for these meetings. It's over there.
Yeah.
I will actually put it inside the content as well, because else people are redonkulous. The
Yeah.
other thing you can do is post inside the event. So the only thing you can do to those people who have clicked going is when you post in the discussion in the event, they'll get that notification. So you can post in here. If you've clicked going to this event, please note it is important that you book using this link.
Yeah. I ended up
common problem.
private messaging them all.
Yep.
And one person said, what event? I don't remember. And
Yep.
I reminded them and they went, oh, yeah, that's right. Can't make that one, but they're coming to
Yep.
the one this week now. But
Perfect. Great that you said that. So pros and cons. Some people do not like being private messaged, but they have clicked going. So straight away, I private message them and I go, hey, this is Chantal. Thank you for responding, going to my webinar, How to Make Crazy Sales on March the 24th. I've noticed you've clicked going to this event and would really love to see you there. In order for us for catering purposes or whatever, could you please use this link? But the first thing you do is remind them, because I have, in a few cases, people have gone, why are you private messaging me? Like, I didn't. And I'm like, yes, you did click going. So now it's a copy paste and I go, look, you've clicked going. That's awesome. But please, can you make sure you register? Or do you have any questions? I often ask, do you have any questions to get the conversation going as well? So good point. But yes, in the discussion, make sure that you do include it. And remember, always inside all your events, always post in the event. So those people who have clicked going will hopefully see that and register. The people who actually do really want to come, usually click the registration link. Yeah. In the olden days, people just used to click going just because they wanted to support their friend. So they would click going just to say, I support you, I'm going. And it's like, well, hold on a sec, I'm actually trying to get numbers. So it's a difficult one. Cool. So the next thing that I want to show you is, so make sure you do it on Google My Business and LinkedIn. So the next thing I want to show you is if you want to get a review. I love the review process in LinkedIn. Okay. So if Gail is doing one of my programs and I would love for Gail to leave me a recommendation, you go to that person's profile. When you click into their profile, and we are going to talk to Gail about her banner on her profile. It should match her Facebook one. It is a different size, so you do have to resize again. In the More section, the 3 dots, never be afraid to click them. It says request a recommendation or recommend. So I can actually recommend her, or I can request a recommendation. So this is your homework today, guys. Anyone that you know on LinkedIn who has bought one of your products or done any of your things, and I do this once a week, I go in and I send them a recommendation. So it'll ask you the relationship, and I will say, Gail was a client of yours, okay? Now, this is the tricky part. If you haven't updated your LinkedIn, select the position at the time, and it only takes the positions that you have already in your About section in LinkedIn. So I need to practice what I preach as well. What I really should do is set up my 8-week Facebook Mastery group program in here, because then I could say, Gail, could you review my 8-week program here? So your position at the time, you need to say, I would include it. So for Sashwa, I would include it. For Jane, I would include that, this is the program that you're doing. Put the name in there and write it in there so that when people leave your recommendation, they're leaving a recommendation for that service. So my LinkedIn also needs to be updated. So right now I can just say, Gail, can you give me one for Facebook strategist and coach for business owners at, because that's general. But since what I've learned is that you can set up your position for the different courses that you're doing, because that way you can request a recommendation for that. So I could have my founder of the Facebook 101 program, founder of the Facebook Plus program, and I can write a description of what that program is. When people come onto your profile, they're going to see those programs, because we don't have services all listed in there. So that is something I'm most certainly going to be doing. So I'll just say next. Could you write me a recommendation? And you could just send it off. So that'll go into her messages. Into her messages, say, Chantal's asked you to leave her a recommendation. She'll leave you one. And here's the awesome thing. Once she's left it, it comes to me for a review. And I can decide if I want it edited or whether or not I want to submit it. So I might go, oh, Gail, could you include a little bit more about this, that, or the next thing? Or I could say, no, that's awesome, and I could submit it. So does anyone else have any other questions with regards to that? They do have to be a friend of yours. So I'm trying to get one from Sandy at the moment. So you see I've sent her a request. I might just show you the actual position so you can see what I mean. Make sure that your About section has been updated. That's your activity. Here we go, where it says experience. So you want to make sure here with your experience, I could set this up here and I could say founder, full-time of the Facebook 101 program. And you could set up all your programs, put the description in there as well, and upload the infographic. So that is something I most certainly want to do. Which is going to make you better stalk. It's much better for you to be stalkable. 2 o'clock on